I'm Emma Easterbrook and this is Practicing Human. My guest today is Valerie Watkinson. She is a breathwork facilitator. We'll get onto that in a minute. She's a yoga teacher. She is absolutely blinking brilliant and fun. She's got so many stories to tell. She's got lots to talk to us about travelling around Asia and learning Thai massage, to going to Costa Rica and doing an Ayahuasca retreat. So we're going to go and cover so much to cover. But anyway, thank you very much for coming on today.
Thank you.
It's lovely to have you.
It's dead nice.
So I quite like the yellow chairs, don't you?
I love the yellow chairs.
Yeah. Now, as I told you, as we've been talking about, I'm really interested in what I call 360 health. So that's everything you consume. So be it what you watch, what you listen to, what we eat, any medications we take, absolutely everything. And that has made me fall into this rabbit hole, which is biohacking. Okay. And breathing, breathwork features really, really heavily in the biohacking to do with health. So that's why I really wanted to talk to you. Can you tell us what a breathwork facilitator is, please?
Of course. So it's kind of in the title, breath and work. Mm-hmm. So we're breathing, and it's work. When you come and have a full-on one-to-one breathwork session, mm-hmm. you're predominantly doing a conscious, connected breathe. Mm-hmm. for about 45 minutes to an hour. And I always find when I first have a client and they're like, oh my God, this is hard work. Mm-hmm. Because what we're basically doing, we're retraining mm-hmm. our primary breathing muscle, which is the diaphragm.
Well, I've heard this a lot because we all do shallow breathing now, don't mm-hmm. we? Whereas when we were younger, perhaps when we were little kids and we were running around, we did a lot of deep breathing, which we forget, don't we? So you're teaching people, I guess, to
So the easiest way to explain it to you is when we're born, we obviously take our first breath. Mm-hmm. And if you watch the newborn baby breathing, it's not lifting its shoulders. Mm-hmm. So when we're using our secondary breathing muscles, our fight-flight muscles, mm-hmm. we're breathing in the chest, and the breath is really shallow. Mm-hmm. So a baby is using its diaphragm because it's not had any stress. The environment's all nice, so the belly is just going out and soft. The ribs will be expanding. So we're just using this primary breathing muscle, the diaphragm. Mm-hmm. So now I think.
Sorry, can I just ask you, where is the diaphragm? It might sound like a really stupid question.
So the diaphragm is a very thin muscle, basically, that sits underneath the rib cage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So when you take a breath in, what should happen mm-hmm. is the diaphragm contracts and pushes down. Mm-hmm. But the diaphragm goes from around the belly, you've got the lungs at the ribs, and it's around the back of the body.
Oh, okay.
So what happens is people go, oh, yeah, let's get into this belly breathing. But it's almost like blowing up a balloon, but only using one side of the balloon. Uh-huh. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you blew into the balloon, the whole thing would expand. Mm. So what I'm doing, or what I'm watching, and I'm trying to what's the word I'm thinking of?
Encourage or teach?
Well, yeah, but it's like I'm trying to turn that engine back on.
Oh, okay.
So it's like any muscle. If you stop using it, it kind of doesn't work as efficiently. Mm-hmm. So when you take a breath in, the diaphragm should be expanding all around, pushing down, which helps with digestion. Mm-hmm. I mean, how many people complain of IBS now?
Yeah.
And then when you breathe out, it should just bounce back up.
Yeah.
So none of this should be kind of moving.
Yeah. And do you find that a lot when you say to people, take a deep breath, they lift their shoulders
100%.
up? 100%. Yeah.
Well, I'm teaching a yoga class and I go, okay, everyone look in the mirror, everyone breathe in, and they all go,
yeah.
You know.
So how does that marry up with your yoga class if you're a yoga teacher? So it must work together really, really well for you to be a breathwork facilitator now and put that in with your yoga classes.
100%. So So when I'm teaching, obviously I'm using a lot more somatic movement now. So I'll say this, conscious, so coming into consciousness, connected, being in the present moment, breath work. So that's what we're doing. So the breath, I believe, or I feel when I do it, is the closest thing that brings me into presence. Yeah. So, for example, this is my first ever invite onto a podcast. So all day I was like, oh my God. I've done 3 breathwork practices already before coming here. So because I'm more in awareness of what's happening in my body at all times, I'm like, okay, you just need to do some breath work. So my heart would be racing. I'd be thinking, oh my God, So then I'll go, okay, and I'll do my 2. Conscious Connected is a 2-1, my training. So I trained with the spectacular, have to plug her because she's just the best person in the world. Well, obviously, that's a big statement. But
well, obviously, I'm the best person in the world, but apart from me.
Is Nicola Price. So Nicola Price I trained with from inspirational breathing. Yeah. And I really believe her training is just phenomenal. We do a lot with, there's a big reading list. It's all about trauma being held in the body. And predominantly, we all want to feel safe and held. Yeah. So I guess in my journey, obviously, I was a gymnast, and then I was a dancer, and then I was a yoga teacher. And I learned a little bit of pranayama.
I was going to ask you about that, actually. Yeah, because that's supposed to be the original...
Well, the thing is, so pranayama they do breath of fire and Kapalabhati and all these different techniques. And you can have breath holds. But if your diaphragm isn't working correctly, so basically, Nicola's constantly, her thing is, get your breathing right, and then go and do as many different breathing techniques as possible. Because if you're not using the diaphragm, and you're only using the upper chest, and then you start doing these, different breathing techniques, then you're probably going to do it incorrectly anyway. Yeah.
Valerie, talk me through when you do one-on-one, you're with the sandbags, the thing that you've told me about, your session that you do.
Okay. So once we've done a breath pattern analysis, so I can see, because I guess sometimes someone might not be breathing in the chest, but they might be breathing really shallow, or they might just have a belly breath. So we all have different ways of breathing. So you might have a bad back and be lying on your back, be really uncomfortable. Yeah. So therefore, I might put you on the side position, and I'll normally have a hot water bottle, sandbags, bolsters. So I'm making you feel as safe as humanly possible. Yeah. So that's the kind of flip side of if you're going to go, oh yeah, I've heard about this breath work, and okay, and you turn up at the studio and there's 30 people, there's one facilitator, and you're put in a position and you're like, okay, I'm just going to do what everyone else is doing, and start hyperventilating, and then people are screaming, and it can be like...
Yeah, because everyone's individual, aren't they? Yeah. So people are going to have different things they can and can't do, or they're not doing properly. So it's going to get watered down, isn't it? If you've got that many people and one facilitator.
And that's
it's not
kind
really
of dangerous, because breath work can bring up a lot of stuff. We talk about the body holds the score. So any, not even necessarily traumatic experience, but any time that the nervous system is in fight, flight, or disassociation, that experience, because it's not released, can get stored in the body, can get stored in the muscles.
And I guess that can manifest itself in aches and pains and,
even illnesses. Yeah. So when you're flooding the body with oxygen and you're really getting this kind of baby breath, this conscious connected breath happening, releases can happen, and they could be, you can have tears, you can have heat, you can have body twitching, sweat, laughing, burping, all sorts. The body's just releasing an experience.
Do you know what I've been doing? Because obviously I've said I'm really interested in this biohacking. And one of the things is to go and grounding. So like barefoot on earth, you know. So for the last week or so, I've been going out in the morning and doing that, spending about 10-15 minutes and doing 30 really deep breaths in and out, and it's made me feel quite heady because of course you're not used to doing that, but I'm assuming my body will train itself to not feel heady because that's obviously something I'm not used to doing.
How are you breathing out? This is the thing.
Because I normally breathe in through my nose and out through my mouth, but I was breathing in through my mouth and out through my mouth.
Okay, and what was the ratio? So this all has an effect. So I'll talk you through that and then we'll do it.
Okay, well, good. I was trying to do it as evenly as possible.
Okay,
this
so
is
you're
why
on a
you and I
we've
got to have a session here.
And that's why you probably got lightheaded.
Yeah,
I guess. So this is another thing that I've started to bring in. I mean, I'm not doing breathwork when I'm teaching yoga, but I'm really giving them the knowledge of, you know. So every breath in is your chance to fill your body up with as much oxygen, but low and deep. So if you breathing your breath in into the lower part of the lungs, that's where the alveoli, I always get it wrong, I want to say alveoli, that garlic, garlic
that's
dip.
Nice, isn't it? Yeah.
Anyway, so it goes into the alveoli, so the oxygen, where there's, I think, I read there's 480 million of these little sacs.
Wow.
That then carry the oxygen into the blood, into the muscles. So that's your oxygenated blood. Yeah. If you're not if you're breathing really shallow and you're not breathing, you're just breathing in the upper part of the lungs, then there's less of these sacs. Like they're all sitting in the lower part of the lungs. Yeah. So if you know that, you're going to take beautiful long breaths in. Yeah. So the breath in, you've got to think this contraction is happening, lungs are expanding, blood's oxygenated blood's flowing through the body, and then the breath out is your chance to release. Yeah. So that's the thing that we talk about. When you're doing pranayamas, there's a lot of control on the exhale, where my training and my belief and my releases really come from that letting go. Yeah. Letting go. So get it all in. Sympathetic nervous system, everything switched on. Yeah. And then we let go. Yeah, so that exhale. So we do a 2-1. But your 2-1 might be slower than my 2-1. Right, okay. So you're breathing in for 2. And we breathe
out
through
for 1.
And out for 1.
Right, okay. Oh, that's interesting.
And I really notice when I have clients, because they've got so much holding and they don't even realise they're holding. I see it in their body and I see it in their breath. Yeah. And going back to the sandbags, if I put a sandbag on your belly, on your lower belly, on the diaphragm, and get you to breathe in and expand, lift the sandbag, they normally weigh around 10 to 15 kilos. They're very nice. They're not like a workman's sandbag. Going down wicks. Going down wicks, getting a sandbags.
Are they pink though? That's
they're hessian.
Oh, that's quite nice. That's just natural, really, isn't it? It's lovely.
But then you so you're breathing in, and then when you exhale, you're just letting that weight. Yeah. Because it just fascinates me how much we hold in our body. I've even gotten to that point where I can see it, or I'm saying, give me your weight, and they're like, I am. Yeah. But they can't.
Holding on to themselves.
Bodies, and that could be just stuck energy from a fight or flight response.
Yeah. So I've read that the sympathetic breath is fight or flight. Yeah. And the parasympathetic is rest and digest. Is that correct?
Or letting go, surrender, soften. Right.
Yeah. So it's really interesting because with the biohacking that I've been learning about, it's about oxidative stress. So if you oxygenate your blood, then that's going to travel around each cell in your body, and it's only going to be good, because apparently the devil is inflammation. And you have acute inflammation, which is when we've had a workout and your muscles are a bit torn and you feel a bit achy the next day, but that's quite good because it's making your body work, apparently. Okay. And then the bad one is chronic inflammation, which is the thing that can lead to arthritis, and any sort of more serious sort of like situations, you know, like physically within the body. So that's why apparently it's really good to have really good breath, you know, like and oxygenate the body. It all makes a lot of sense to me because it's something that we don't, well, I mean, you do, because you do. That's
I didn't before.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. So I was moving.
Yeah.
And I could tie myself in a pretzel shape.
Yeah.
But I wasn't breathing, so I wasn't processing. I've got this, it's not a saying, it's just we start from within.
Yeah.
Where I was external, even in my movement, in my dancing, I was not connected to the breath. You're not taught anything about the breath in dance.
Yeah.
But you are taught a little bit, I guess, in yoga. But this breath work is about going in.
Yeah.
And
it is just about breath
processing.
work. And that is just a thing on its own, a standalone thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's interesting because, you know, years ago I went to drama school, an evening drama school, when I was like 25 and I was working. And breath work was a really big thing that we were taught. But it was that whole, I think it was that breathe in for 7, hold for 8, release. I can't remember what the whole process was. But I found breath work really useful and beneficial, you know, when you're just trying to be, you know, clarified, be in the moment, and it just sort of like puts you right there. So it's really interesting. Years later, you know, when we did that, what was it?
A big spender. I don't know, what did we do? Kylie Minogue for a day.
Oh, we did loads of it, didn't we? Yeah, we had a great time. Kitty cat dolls, that was what it was. So we did that. And that was just before you did your contemporary dance degree.
Right.
Yeah.
In my 30s.
Yeah, which is a pretty amazing thing to do.
Yeah.
So do you think that, you know, because obviously like that was nerve-wracking when you were doing performances like at the time, or just before you had to like really concentrate on what a dance routine was, do you think you subconsciously did breath work without even knowing about it? But obviously not with the knowledge that you've got now.
Not conscious connected breath work, no. I think drama and singing schools, they will have you connected to the diaphragm. But in dance, well, in my training, there was no connection to diaphragm. Yeah. You know, it was just a breath, I guess. But going back to, like the body keeps the score. So my morning practice, because I am a mover, that's it. Yeah. You know, I'm a dancer. But I will just have a little shake off, a little move, and I can just have a little mini release most mornings. Yeah. Be that an emotional, be that the body tremor, but I'm breathing and moving at the same time. Yeah. So I'm doing my 2 in and 1 out.
Well, it's very beautiful to watch.
We'll put and then my day is amazing.
Well, it's a great start to the day, isn't it? We'll put all your handles at the bottom so people can have a look, because you are fascinating to watch and it's just beautiful, you know. I know you've got lots of loyal ladies that are going to be listening to this because they say, "Oh, I said I've got Valerie. Oh, I love Valerie."
Really?
Yeah, they really loved it.
Dear. Yeah. I'm only joking.
So, what led you to here?
To breath work.
Yeah. How did you get here? Because I know the answer to this.
I know the answer to that.
So you grew up in Manchester.
Oh, to here? I thought you meant to. I did grow up in Manchester, yeah. And
so you're part of the club scene in Manchester?
Well, when there was the sort of the hacienda and the, you know, that whole era, I was young. Mm-hmm. I was like 15 going to the hacienda with pigtails. Yeah. And
you could get into a club then when you were 13,
well, my boyfriend
couldn't you?
was 21. So.
Oh, well, there you go, yeah.
Well, I was 16, 21. That's another story.
Yeah. Different times.
Yeah. And, yeah, it was a mad years. So I'm the youngest of 6 as well. Mm-hmm. I was thinking about this the other day, and I really like my quiet space on my own. Mm-hmm. But obviously I grew up with
busy household.
A very busy household. So it's like, why do I just want no one around me? Yeah. And being the youngest, I think I would say I'm the most extrovert in the family. But I think if I was little, I was probably like, hey, look at me, look at me. And then I moved to Brighton. How old was I? Probably like 24. Met a guy. Had a child, and then wanted to get into. Well, I guess I always had rhythm.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any dance training at all. I was just a gymnast. I used to do cartwheels across the car park, but I never had any dance training. And then I wanted to get slim. Yeah. After baby fat, and went to a street dance class. So I think I would have been about 29.
But that was 30. With what was his name?
Junior. Was his name was?
Oh, was it?
Yeah. He was in the Triangle. Yeah. It was before JP.
That's JP. Who I was thinking of. JP.
Yeah. I did a couple of his, but I didn't know him then. So Junior was a younger guy. And then I just started teaching. Yeah. Friends, kids, a dance at the, 7-year-olds. My friends would have yours included. Yes. And I'd be like, hey, I can teach a dance routine, and just start making dance routines up. Yeah. And then set up top hats and tutus. And I had no training whatsoever, so I was just winging it all. Yeah, yeah. Putting performances on. And I thought, well, best go and get some training. So I want to say I was 32. And I did a foundation degree.
I remember you doing it.
With 18-year-olds.
Well, it's a big juggling act, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah. I'd run out of picking up from school, and I'd be in a ballet outfit with tights and 32. Yeah. Driving down from Bristol to uni. And then I did a full-on degree after that. And that's what was really interesting, I think, because I had so much life experience. But no technique whatsoever. But going to class every day, or going to uni and studying dance, even though not knowing it, I was releasing stuff. Yeah. And it meant so much. It was just a time where I was just fully connected and just there and just in the movement. So that was probably the start of the not releasing, that's the wrong word, but it's probably just the start of me connected to the body and how fascinating it is and what it stores. So I'm just continually unraveling that, Well,
I think that's a really brave thing to do at that age.
Thanks.
To do something completely different, and sort of that's part of you evolving. And that we're just, that's the best thing in the world, isn't it?
And I told the truth.
Yeah.
So because I had no GCSEs. I didn't go to school. I was in the hacienda. I remember Mum calling the police. I'd go missing. I'd be partying. Poor Mum. I do apologise, Mum, if you're listening.
Of course she is. It's only
I've still got you on the edge of your seat now, and I'm 52. Where are you going now? Lost my train of thought now, going back to my parents.
No, but it's just about evolving and becoming the people that we are, but constantly evolving and changing.
Every job after that, I lied because my school wasn't there anymore, and I made up this CV with all these GCSEs that I didn't have and A levels. None. I had none. And
God, you said you had A levels.
Yeah.
Oh, I never did that. You see, I left school when I was 16, and I got a couple of GCSEs, but I never did A-levels, and I didn't lie about it. I should have lied about it. It didn't stop me getting any jobs.
Yeah, true. But and then when I was applying for university, I was like, do you know what? I could just tell the truth. Yeah. I didn't know what contemporary dance was. Yeah. I'd never written an essay. And you had to send in an essay and go and see a show. So I went and saw a show at the Dome, and I wrote some essay. And I think I got in as the mature student tick box, but maybe I got in because of me. I have no technique.
No, but it's about
people auditioning with like pointed toes.
Yeah, but they want somebody who's passionate, don't they?
Yeah.
They want somebody that actually wants to be there. Yeah. And I just think that, and you obviously shone through, because anyone would be lucky.
I wish I could see that audition.
I bet.
I wish it was. Like, what am I doing? That? Okay, I've got a roll on the floor, Funny.
Yeah.
But absolutely loved it. one of the subjects I did was a short sort of, is it dance movement psychology? That isn't the right title for it, but the same thing, you know, holding in the body, using the form of dance rather than talking therapy.
Yeah.
So it's all just unravelled.
I remember you showing me one of your essays for that degree course that was about, I couldn't tell you, it was about a famous dancer, but I was like, blinking hell, this is like excellent. It was so good. You worked really hard for that and you did really well from it. No, but you deserve, you know, credit where credit's due.
My pictures there on the mantelpiece,
it's a proud,
cap and gown in my parents'
moment,
house.
Isn't it?
I got a degree.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. I'm very proud, actually, to come from there, no qualifications, not knowing, you know, environment I was in was a little bit sketchy, not at home, but just where I was brought up, and that time in Manchester. And here I am.
There you go.
On a podcast.
Yeah, on a yellow chair. Look at me now, you know. So I think you're quite the adventurer, and I love to hear about. I was thinking, oh my God, what's she going to do now? But you actually went off around Asia, and you did a Thai massage course. How old were you then?
That was all after the yoga teacher training.
Yeah.
Was it? I think so. Yeah.
So what, in your 40s or?
So I did, my first travel was I went to India. I met the Dalai Lama.
Oh,
I mean, what the hell?
Right. Come on. You've got to tell that story. I don't even know this one.
Sometimes I'm like, people go, only you, Val, only you. So one of my teachers at uni, she was, I think, Brazilian, a bit of capoeira, lovely. I mean, I was older than my teachers at uni. I mean, how mad is that? So we became friends. And people used to say, because of my gymnastic background, you'd be really good at teaching yoga because I could bend in half. Weird, I was thinking about this the other day. It's like, I actually started out as a break dancer. Proper rolled up piece of lino under the flats and a ghetto blaster. Yeah. And I was in a little crew. But my sort of party trick was I could roll on my belly, put my feet over to the side of my head and like stand back up again. So I was in the crew.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's my train of thought again.
It's like Dalai Lama, yoga training.
Oh yeah, so then my teacher wanted to do that and she said, look, let's do it. So we went to India. And did a month. Was it a month we were there? And I'd only been to a few yoga classes. Yeah. I was like, okay. And the next thing I'm in the mountains. So there's a place, it's called, so you go into Dharamshala and there's a place called, I can think this is how you pronounce it, MacLeod Gouge or MacLeod Gouge. Mm-hmm. And that's where the Dalai Lama lives. Yeah. And it's almost like the point where the monks from Nepal come over and the Indians, it's like that point. Yeah, borders. Beautiful. Bearing in mind, I'm petrified of cows. And there's cows.
And they're sacred over there.
Like
they're just wandering around all over the place.
And I'm screaming. But there's these beautiful seas of monks walking around. Yeah. And obviously everyone, it's quite sacred because Dalai Lama lives there, but it's not all, it's not there. Mm-hmm. And then this one day, it was like, the Dalai Lama's here, the Dalai Lama's here. So just really sort of, it wasn't planned. Yeah. And then he just called a meeting and we all, I mean, I didn't sit and have a good, cup of tea and a slice of cake with him. I had a photograph.
Does he eat cake?
Anyway. Like words all covered, that's Sally.
Yeah. God. Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And
So we
gave a big talk. He invited
how many people
were in a very small little community up there. It's not very. Yeah. It's not like it's not like Dharamshala. It's not a big city. It's a very small town up in the mountains. So I reckon there was maybe 60 people. Wow. And he did a talk. Can't remember none of it. And then at the end, he got us in sections, as in groups of people. Yeah. So there was like Americans, Europeans, Asians. I don't know how he put us into little groups, and he came up and so I guess that was how he could just separate us and had a picture. But he's here. And I'm like that. A bit like the one when I met David Beckham. Like that. I'm not being cool. That's another story.
Did you feel with the Dalai Lama, did you feel like a sense of calm when you were in his presence?
Yeah. I mean, it just, some things happen to me and I'm just like, did that just happen?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Just bonkers. I've had some bonkers.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Bonkers experiences where I've just trusted and just gone off on my own. But that was the very first trip, and we sort of just stayed there. But I do remember when we arrived like late at night, and I've obviously never been to anywhere like that before.
Oh, it's culture shock, isn't it?
And I was just like, and the cars pull up and you can't even see anywhere. It's you know, I guess it's a bit like a shanty town.
Yeah.
And then these Indian men just run over, start grabbing the bags out, and I'm like,
no!
they're robbing the bags, they're robbing the bags, and they were just like carrying the bags to the room. I was like, get off my back, dragging the bag off. Like, we're just helping you.
This one's really stressed out. This one really needs to be sorted out.
Funny.
So
it's culture shock.
With yoga, have you been taught different forms of yoga?
Yeah.
So what was the first time?
So that was very traditional hatha. But we did chanting, I want to say shatkarmas. I mean,
yeah. I've got
a bit like purging, you know, we had to put this, what can I explain it? It's like a piece of a rubber, tiny long piece of rubber, like a shoelace, but rubber.
Yeah.
And you had to stick it up your nose.
Oh my God.
Open your mouth, put your finger to the back of your throat.
And pull it out.
Pull it, and then floss.
Oh
this is
my
like daily.
God.
So it's a whole other part of, you know, you've got your pranayamas, you've got your shatkarmas, of yoga. So that's what I did there. And then I did another year's teacher training with Dan Pipiat, who I adore, in London with Yoga Like Water. Then I've trained in with Norman Blair, amazing. Advanced teacher training in Yin Yoga. I've done all sorts, Qigong, flow.
Wow, I didn't even know all of this.
A little bit of everything.
Do you know,
It's
I've got to tell you a really funny yoga story. So when Grant and I, he's my husband, when we got married, we had our honeymoon in India. I did the Golden Triangle. And we were in Udaipur, and they said, oh, we've got yoga classes here in the morning. So we got up at 6 o'clock in the morning. And it was just me and Grant and this yoga guy. And Grant's never done anything like that before in his life. He's stiff as a board, you know. And Grant was like, what do I expect? And I went, well, you know, you're going to sit cross-legged. You can't. He said, I can't sit cross-legged. I said, well, just do what you can. Anyway, so we're having this whole experience, and it was really amazing. And they, you know, like we had the white flowing, you know, they gave you all the stuff to wear and whatever. And we're there, and they made us do, is it the tiger? Yeah.
No, the lion's breath.
Like that. And I couldn't look at Grant. I absolutely couldn't look at him, because he was just like, he was like, what the fuck is this? You know, like he just didn't get it at all. He's very open-minded, and he understands it all a bit more now. But at the time, when we were talking a long time ago, it was quite new sort of stuff to us. So you've learned all these different sort of forms of yoga, and then you're starting to teach. You know, you're teaching yoga back home, and you're making a living from it. And you've got I know you've got a huge following now, and everyone, you know, absolutely adores you.
I feel like I'm being really authentic now.
Yes.
So that's why I'm not like, put this foot there, put that foot. Yeah. You know, I really am just giving you permission to feel what you need. Yeah. And that's where there's always a beginning where we're just dropping in and we're noticing, how's my body? How is my breath? Yeah. How is my emotional body? What do I need?
So I know that you do one in Anstai, and is that just breath work?
No. That's I call it Breathe In B. Right. But again, because I've recently qualified, I'm just doing one-to-ones. Mm-hmm. But I'm obviously bringing kind of the knowledge in it and a little bit of breath pattern analysis and, you know, just visually breathing with the diaphragm, and I use a little bit of sandbags, but it's not a breath work. Because again, I want to be more experienced, because if I'm going to hold a space with a big group of people, 5 of them might have a moment that, am I equipped to hold that? But when it's one-on-one, for now, till I get more experience in that. But it's like having a facelift. At the end of the classes, they all come up and they go, "You're all 10 years younger."
Oh.
Because their nervous system's regulated. Like I say, just the breath will connect you. And then you're like, okay. And as soon as you start doing the baby breath, everything just starts to, and you're in presence. You're not like, oh my God. I think there's a study, isn't it? Like, we spend so much more time in the past and the future and very little time in now. And especially as we're bombarded with so much, we're in heightened sense of awareness without realising. All the stuff's coming through the phone, the dopamine's up. So, yeah, my practices now is just, let's just take a breath.
This episode is sponsored by Star Treatment, my wellness clinic in Henfield in Sussex. I offer IV vitamin drips, skin boosters, B12 shots, advanced facials and anti-wrinkle treatments, all designed to make you feel and look your absolute best. Check me out on Instagram even. Check me out on Instagram at StarTreatment24. Can you talk about when you went around to Asia and you did your Thai massage course?
I did a shiatsu course in the UK.
Yeah. And what is shiatsu?
So shiatsu is kind of working with the energies, a little bit like Thai. And then I just started teaching yoga and doing massage at festivals. And I was a bit like, I don't feel like I want to learn more about this. And again, I'll always look for a reason to fund or to go travelling. And I'll normally only go for like a month at a time. So it's like, oh, okay, I've heard of this Sunshine House Thai massage in Thailand. And you had an option to go into Chiang Mai, I think it was. Yeah. Or you go up into the mountains with the tribe.
Well,
so I'm living
which one is Valerie going to go for?
The tribe.
Of course you are.
So I was living with the Lahu tribe up in the mountains. So I did a phenomenal Thai massage course there.
Wow.
I remember they said down the pavement. I was like, that's not where's the pavement? It was like real living in a shack. I think there used to be not smugglers but traders of opium. Oh right. Okay. And the Thai government then gave them coffee. I mean, phenomenal, gorgeous. I've got a top that I wear that's part of their traditional dress. Oh. And when I wear it out, people are like, wow, where's that from? It's beautiful.
So they just really took you in and...
Did you feel
part of it?
Yeah, but you're learning, obviously, with other students. You're not learning... You're living with the tribe, but the school is run, I want to say, with different facilitators that work for the establishment. But you are... living and breathing with them.
It's so exciting. Yeah. So that was a phenomenal experience. Yeah. And the Thai massage itself, I mean, I've had a Thai massage before and it's a really deep massage, isn't it? So do Thai people give each other Thai massage, because they're quite relaxed sort of people, generally speaking, from when I've travelled there, they seem like they're the most beautiful, warm, kind people that I've ever met, and the food's amazing. But so when is that part of their practice of living, like that they do Thai massage on themselves?
Well, I think is when you were saying that, I was thinking, so when I did my little bit of Qigong training, I absolutely need to think of her name. I mean, she's a phenomenal teacher. So she said this, and it really stuck with me. So people in the East, we want to be 10 years younger. Yeah. So we're always trying to find something that's going to make
the West people in the West
look at We're west. I said west, right?
No, you said east. But anyway, so I know what you mean. So
you know
people in the west want to
so
be 10 years younger.
Right, let's go and do resistance training. Let's hold planks. Let's do the Where people in the east, they say, what do I need to do now to help my body in 10 years' time?
Yeah.
So that's where the Qigong is all just manipulation of joints, Qigong, Tai Chi, so they're constantly...
And it's mindfulness as well.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Environment they live in, they've not got all that overstimulus, pollution. Because that's another really interesting thing about the breath. Why is it when you go to nature, you automatically feel 100 times better without even knowing about breath work?
Yeah.
So you're breathing higher quantity of oxygen that's coming from the trees. We get our oxygen from the trees, and lower pollution. So your breath will change automatically. When you're in a city and like now, that's another thing, sitting at a desk, so your posture's like that all day. So your diaphragm can't breathe properly. Yeah. There's no oxygen coming in, there's air conditioning. So you've got recycled air that you're breathing in. Yeah. So you always want high quantity, quality, not quantity, high quality oxygen. Yeah. So when you're living up in the mountains, of course, you're breathing in phenomenal life force into the body.
But it's that whole thing, isn't it? That this whole biohacking idea, and like this my idea about 360 health. It's about the further we get away from nature, the iller we become.
Of course.
Whereas if we try and go back to more sort of like natural, as far as we possibly can, because our environment, it's crazy built up, isn't it? The environment that we live in. Yeah. And everyone's got a phone, and that's not good for you. It's that blue light. It's just all of that stuff. Whereas if we do go back to breathing properly,
living in small communities,
being outside, being in smaller communities, eating whole foods, that's only going to do us good. It's only going to make us well and make us better and make us live for longer in a more able way, isn't it? So, no, I love it. I want to...
Well, that's why I think everyone's trying to buy land and live, it's happening. There's an undercurrent that is happening, and but it's not sustainable, and people are waking up.
I think it's quite interesting. So on a little side note, but in the pandemic, the cities shut down, and
animals were roaming in the streets.
Yes, and what happened was a lot of the people that worked in the city, all of a sudden they wanted to buy a place in the countryside because they suddenly thought, oh God, and I love London and I love cities.
The nervous system probably settled.
I wouldn't want to be in one all the time. I really love that we live in the countryside, but we've got access to that if we want it. And I think it's really interesting that it made people stop.
Totally.
And take stock of their life and how they wanted things to be.
And the sky and everything. It was
It was just like...
beautiful. And people came together in community.
Yes, yeah.
That's the other thing with Thai massage, but in going back to breathwork now, I use touch. I sometimes might use a little bit of movement. I use the sandbags. There's many different things that I'll use, and a lot of I work with grief. I work with terminally ill. I've worked with someone who's had a collapsed lung. Like there's so many different clients. It's so interesting. And they all just feel so cared for. Yeah. And so safe. And that's, as a human, that's what we primarily want to feel.
But isn't it a shame that it takes them to be going through some sort of trauma to actually start to take notice of taking care of themselves? That should be standard. Yeah. We should all be knowing how to breathe properly, like as a basic, shouldn't we?
But he's getting it out, I'm here putting the word out there. He's definitely becoming more and more popular. A lot of people are talking about it. Yeah. There's some incredible books, if you want me to add some of the books that I've read that are phenomenal. Yeah. And just it's that, isn't it? Conscious into the moment, connected. What is happening? Because your body is this beautiful, amazing sensory organ. Yeah. And it's telling you all the time, but you've just got to give it the space and the moment just to listen what's going on, because one day it'll break, or disease might happen, or different things happen. So
I always think that. I always think that how miraculous our bodies are, because they can heal themselves.
Yeah, totally.
You know, like you can cut yourself and everything in your body will go to that to go and fix it. You know, like, Nino, let's go and fix that cut on Emma's hand.
Totally.
And and it's so clever.
Yeah.
It blows me away. It really does. It's an incredible thing, isn't it?
And the fact it holds memories and stories, and that's the work, isn't it? Let's unpack all of that stuff.
Right, okay, we've got my favourite thing. You know what I really want to talk
Ayahuasca.
about? Yes! Right, so please explain to people what ayahuasca is about. So I really want them to get the whole picture of this. So can you tell them about what ayahuasca is, what the retreat is in Costa Rica, what it does, and then how you got there and what your experience was. So first of all, what is ayahuasca?
So ayahuasca is a plant medicine.
Yes.
From two different vines.
Yeah.
That they make into a brew, a tea.
Yeah.
And then you drink the medicine.
And who are these people that do this?
They're shamans.
Shamans.
Yeah. So there's
a shaman is somebody that has.
Well, it's gone down through. It's quite funny. I should say this, and I shouldn't say this, because a friend of mine says, it's a lineage shaman. It's from
generational.
Tribes. Yeah. You can't say. I couldn't say I'm a shaman.
No.
Right. I can't stand on top of a mountain and change the weather.
No.
I can do my practices and I can guide and help you, but I'd never say, and sometimes I get a bit like when I see these, I'm a this and I'm a that.
So no, you're not. Yeah.
No, you're not. You didn't live in a tribe and you can't change the weather. So, you might be able to waft some sage at me, but hey.
So in this retreat in Costa Rica, there's shamans, there's the ayahuasca.
But the shamans sing Icaros.
Right.
Chant to the medicine. And then the medicine heals.
So you drink the tea.
You drink it. Well, it's not tea. I wish it was. It's like thick. I can't really.
Is it like treacle, but not
sort
sweet?
of. Well, it depends who makes what the brew is. And the shamans. So there's different shamans, Peruvian shamans. They all have their own way, but they'll sing Icaros to you, which is activating the medicine.
So. Is it so to people to try and explain? Is it a bit like if somebody took LSD or what's the so
it creates
it's
a little
mind
bit
altering
of DMT
in some way?
Yeah. But this is the interesting thing, because it's. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they were also saying, in tribes, they don't give prescribed drugs. Mm-hmm. They'll give plant medicine.
Yeah, well, because it's natural. It's from the earth. It's got
So they say she's the mother of all plant medicine. So you've got magic mushrooms, are like the little cheeky grandkids, and then you've got ayahuasca, and then you've got others. You've got Kambo. I think Kambo's the frog. I think. There's another one that serious addicts take to come off addictions, but I can't think of the name. Anyway, so you ask the medicine, or the medicine was just going to tell you what you need. So, but it can also slap you in the face.
People go there who are going through
all sorts
life-changing situations, of going midlife crisis, perhaps for want of a better description. People that have been through trauma, perhaps people that are grieving, perhaps people that feel a bit lost. So people go there for all sorts of different reasons, don't they? But
they go for the answer.
It's a radical thing to do, isn't
it?
What
is the we want? They want, and
so
they've come to a point, where they want to know.
So there's a question.
Tell me, mother.
What the question is.
Not like going to a tarot reader, I guess, but not.
So
anyway,
it's finding it within yourself, isn't it?
So I'd had a whole experience of I had no trust, no self-belief in relationships. So I had a range of relationships. So there was always mistrust, there was always cheating. My triggers were off all the time, and they were just happening. So I was in this loop, And some, this takes two to tango, but I was attracting this lower frequency.
Yeah.
Because I obviously was in that lower frequency myself.
Yeah.
And I was drinking and partying and, using different things for validation and it was, I was just in this constant cycle. So I was attracting these type of people. And then I'd heard about ayahuasca. How I'd heard, I think it was at a festival and I heard about it. And they said, when you're ready, she will call you, right? So I started going, okay, what's this medicine? Apparently it's like life-changing and it'll give you the answers that you need, what you need to be told. So for about 6 months, I was studying ayahuasca, listening to podcasts, watching documentaries. There's a thing called Gaia, G-A-I-A, and they had loads of, tribes that make it and then really understanding that it became really popular. And then people were not having a nice experience because people were paying a lot of money for it and they weren't being held and they weren't real shamans and, they were being robbed. And so that sort of came through that you've got to go to the right place with the right people and be really held. A bit like this is why I trained as a breathworker, because it's the closest thing to ayahuasca that I felt in an experience. Anyway, so I was like, okay, well, I haven't got $5,500 to go off and
that's what it costs just to do that.
Ranging between $3 because it got so popular.
Yeah.
But years ago, before I even heard of it, like my boyfriend, he's taken it for £15. Way back when, 20 odd years ago. So I was applying because I was like, I just can't keep going on like this. I felt really stuck. So I was applying for scholarships. Being a northerner, like if you don't ask, you don't get.
Exactly.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
Yeah.
So I was applying. I got through to one, I think in Peru, but I got like a half scholarship. And then you'd have to buy it. So again, with the flight there, it's over like $3,000. So
sorry, just to pause. So they got them in Peru. They have them
everywhere. Peru and Costa Rica
are
two of the main places.
Yeah. So you've been applying. So
I was applying, and then I met my. So this is because the whole story is mad. So I was applying, and then COVID happened, and I'd sort of forgotten, but I obviously wasn't ready because she wasn't calling me, right? So I was intrigued, and I kept going, oh yeah, I'm going to go take this ayahuasca stuff, and I then COVID happened, so I applied for a yoga teaching job in Costa Rica because I wanted to just get out of the UK. So I'd got out to Spain, and then flew back, applied for a job in Costa Rica as a volunteer yoga teacher, flew back to England to say goodbye and Merry Christmas and now get bikinis. Was in a taxi trying to get the flight and they shut us down. I couldn't get the flight.
Pandemic.
I was I hated everyone. How dare you?
It's so close to being out
so
there.
Close. And anyway, so it obviously was for a reason.
Yeah.
It was definitely for a reason. So for 2 years, I had a flight to Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Right?
In the bag.
In the back
pocket.
And it was getting to the point where they were going, you've got to take it. We can't hold it anymore.
Yeah.
Because I obviously kept holding it. So I've got a flight to Costa Rica and I've applied to Soltara. That actually Gabor Mate has some, he takes his students to Soltara.
And Gabor Mate, who's that?
Gabor Mate is an amazing. Gabor Mate wrote The Myth of Normal. He's a big. He talks about a lot of addiction, childhood trauma.
Oh, okay.
Amazing guy.
Yeah.
Incredible. And I was reading his book at the time. He talks about the body keeps the score. My brain's
they got in contact with you?
No, he didn't get in contact.
No, they
Oh,
did.
no, so then I met a guy.
Oh, yeah.
So I met a guy that I was on a dance floor after COVID.
Like you do?
But nothing like anyone I'd ever date but I was like, wow, he's, gorgeous and but he was not. But I was on magic mushrooms that night. So there was obviously some frequency, because it heightens your your frequency.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we sort of started dating, and I was like, oh my God, he just keeps showing up. Not like knocking on the door like a stalker, but doing what he says. I don't, I'm starting to feel safe, where previous relationships, I didn't feel safe. I always had this feeling like they're up to something, and most of the time I was right. So yeah, he phoned when he said he'd phoned, he'd call back when he said he would, he'd turn up for the date when he said, so it was all this. I was like, oh my God, this is too good to be true. There's going to be something.
So that in itself was disconcerting to you. Yeah.
So then he goes, so I'd forgotten I was having too much of a good time with Justin. I'd totally forgotten that I'd applied for a scholarship.
Yeah.
But I knew this flight was in the bag. So he goes to a festival and doesn't call me. So all my triggers, like fireworks, that's it. He's with another woman, are going off. And I'm like, come on, Val. It's just a trigger, because I'd already started to do a bit of work then and understanding the body and triggers and the nervous system. So I was pacing up and down, and then I wasn't sleeping and I mean, he was just having a good time with another 1,000 people that probably couldn't get reception, and we'd only not been dating that long. So I wasn't sleeping because I'd not heard from him, and I opened up my laptop at 4 a.m, and there was an email that I'd won the scholarship.
Wow.
So I'd had a flight to Costa Rica. I'd won a 5-day scholarship with 4 ceremonies of ayahuasca, and I was turning 50.
Yes, and you had your ticket in your back pocket
so
to get
for
there.
my 50th, I went and took ayahuasca.
So it was meant to be?
It was meant to be. And the first question, I asked the medicine. So I drank the medicine, and you set an intention, you ask a question. And I said, if he's going to cheat, or you have to show me. You have to show me, because I haven't got the capacity. My heart hasn't got the strength to do this again. And I lay back, and the medicine said, you don't need to see anything. You've seen enough. All you need is healing. And it went inside my body, and almost like I could just feel this like electric current running internally. I felt like I was in intensive care, being like internally cleansed and healed. And then out of nowhere, my boyfriend's head, like Alice in Wonderland cat, because he's got this big smile. It was just his head with no body, pops up and smiles at me and goes, I told you, there's nothing to see here. I'm so proud of you. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. So that was one of the ceremonies.
Well, that's amazing. I love that story.
Thank
I'm so
you.
Pleased that you told that story, because I wanted because I think it's so fascinating to do something so different.
Yeah.
But actually, it's really
and
natural.
we're brave.
Yeah.
And it's like you just do it.
It's scary.
Yeah.
But what an exciting adventure to go on and to do it. And in such a brilliant, authentic way.
Well, it was meant to.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It was like, what are the chances? What are the chances of me having a flight?
Yeah.
Turning 50 is obviously, that's not a chance. And winning this trip and having the flight and having a boyfriend that I was still had this trauma of mistrust. And it all just, that was the reason. It was fantastic. That was the universe going, come on.
Yes.
You deserve this now.
Now we've come to the end of our time, because obviously we could go on for about another 4 hours if we had the chance. But there's 3 questions that I ask each one of the people that come on to my podcast, and it stems from when my kids were little. I used to get in the car, pick them up from school, and I'd say, "What did you do today?" Don't know, can't remember, and get no conversation whatsoever. So I devised this little plan, and basically I used to ask them 3 questions, and they had to, and whoever else was in the car, whether their mates or whatever, tell me one good thing, one bad thing, one funny thing about your day. But what I've done is I've applied that to this podcast. So I'm going to ask you one good thing, one bad thing, one funny thing. It can be that you had something that happened today. It could be something that happened when you were 6. It could be, so just general stuff, right? So one good thing.
Good thing I got in the sea this morning.
Lovely.
The
nice
sea's
one.
always a good thing. Cleansing.
Bad thing?
Phones.
Yes, that's a good answer.
That would be my bad things.
And what's your funny thing?
My funny thing would be a whole story is when I fell in the rooftop pool on the top of Jimmy's bar in Manhattan, fully clothed.
Oh, nice.
That's a story. That's a funny story.
So what, were you done up to go out?
With my cocktail, and as I was going in the pool, I said, this cost me $40. And I didn't spill a drop, apparently. I went in, I came up. I thought nobody saw me and continued.
Soaking wet.
And then obviously got told to leave.
I
thought I wasn't wet.
Yeah. How many cocktails have you had at that point?
A lot.
Oh, Valerie, thank you.
Oh, thank you, my darling.
It's been
mom.
So gorgeous to have you and to talk to you.
Thank you so much.
And we've got this is what we've got forever.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So lovely. I love you.
I love you too with all my heart.